All right, guys, so what I'm going to teach you how to do is how to cook a steak. And in this case, we have three different cuts here. You have a New York strip, you have a ribeye in the middle, and you have a filet mignon at the end. And what you want to look for when you pick out a steak is marbling. And marbling is the fat that runs through the meat, and you can kind of see it there, but that adds flavor. And you can see the ribeye, it's a pretty fatty steak or cut of meat. New York strip is pretty lean, and then filet mignon, it's probably between the two. But again, same thing, you want to look for that marbling, those kind of the fat that runs through that meat that adds flavor. The only thing you want to do with the steak is salt it. Just salt it beforehand, get it ready to put on the grill. Your grill you want to warm up to 400 to 500 degrees. I like mine at 500. That way you get a good sear when you put your steak on the grill, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. So again, just salt. You can also pepper it if you'd like. I just salt mine, and that's pretty much it. Get that grill ready, get it hot. I'm going to show you how to get the proper temp as far as the steak, how to do it without even using a thermometer, a meat thermometer. You could do it just by the push or the feel of a steak. I'll explain once we get them on the grill. All right, got the grill. It's nice and hot. It's actually closer to 600, but that's okay. It'll work. So this is, again, the side that I do my grilling on. That grate right there, it's the sear zone of my grill. Just take the steak, take my filet, put it down right on the grill. Take the ribeye, do the same. And the New York strip, I'm going to do the same with. Now I'll turn my other burners down and leave the sear one up, just to keep the grill maintained. You don't want flames to jump around on that steak. You don't want to burn them. So you want to keep the other ones down, keep the sear hot, and make sure you keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn. Okay, you can see I've maintained that temperature. I've had them on this side for about 4.5 minutes. And so now it's time to flip them. And you should see those grill markings on that steak, okay? So now you want to do this side. Another 4.5 minutes. Remember, these are thick steaks, right? So it might even be closer to 5. And you're gonna, in this next one, I'll show you after I cook it, how to kind of push on them and what you're going to feel when you know that they're done. I like mine, medium rare to medium, so that's what I'll show. So you can see I've maintained that temperature for the most part, and now I'm going to check. So you got that flame shooting up, but this one, the ribeye right now, feels good. When you push on this meat, you should feel some resistance, but it shouldn't feel real stiff, okay? But it should, again, give you some resistance, and that's when you know you're at medium rare there. So that one is done. Check my other two. Now the filet is thicker, obviously, but again, I'm getting good pushback there. It's given a little bit, but at the same time, you get that kind of resistance as you push on with your fork. It pushes back. So that one's done too. See that? That side where you can see it. And then let's check the New York strip. Now this was a big one. New York strip is close. I'm going to give the New York strip just a little bit more time to cook. Giving it about another minute here. Now I just want to try this again and see where it is. Feels a little bit too soft in the middle still. So I'm just going to flip this one time, just so I don't just burn that one side. And I'm going to let this cook just a little bit more. That was about another minute. And yeah, so now it feels much better. Now, here's the most important part when you cook steak, or any meat for that matter. You got to allow it to rest. And so with the steaks this size, you want to allow at least 10 to 20 minutes. I'm going to allow at least 15 here for these guys to rest and then we'll go ahead and cut into them to show you where they're at. Overall, that cooking at 500, 550, 600 degrees, you're talking about 10 to 12 minutes to cook steaks like this. If you're cooking like a skirt steak or a flank steak that's really thin, you're talking 2.5, 3 minutes tops on each side, and it should be done. So you're 5, 6 minutes. Okay, so we'll let these rest, and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, the reason why you want to let your steaks rest is a couple of reasons. One, that steak will continually cook now with the residual heat. But also the thing that you're going to notice too is that those juices start working themselves back into the meat. If you cut it too early, all the juices come out of it and you lose your flavor, and now you just have this kind of gross tasting, bland meat. So this is the New York strip that we cooked. Let's cut into that so you can see right there, medium to medium rare. Look at that. Perfect. Here's the ribeye. Remember, this came off the grill first, along with the filet. There you go again, medium to medium rare, perfect cooked steak. And last but not least, the filet mignon, also cooked. And that one's medium rare to rare, but that's how I like it. Remember, any meat you want to cook on the grill, and then just submit that picture for our contest.